Hi guys, me, Rusty 78609 in Central Texas. I know the lighting is not great, but it's all I got. But having said that, I got a, let's see, this is February the 22nd, 2017 at 3:35 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's about 82 degrees outside, clear and very dry. Dry. But anyway, I had a comment here. Oh, I gotta take a little shot of toddy here. It's beer 30. Anyway, got a comment here. It says, I'm seriously thinking about full-time RVing. I'm 68. Good for you. My main concern isn't money so much. I get Social Security, but the main thing that scares me most is the, in capital, all caps, boredom. Wow. What on earth do you do every day? If I boondocked for 2 weeks and travel for 1 week to stretch out the money, I'm afraid I'll go stir crazy the 2 weeks I'm waiting for the money coffer to refill. Yes, I know for the first day or two you can explore around, but that leaves 10 days to do what? I'm not a professional thumb twiddler, he means this, and have no desire to be. What do you do all day long? I saw your video on boredom, that's cool, but all this filler stuff just sounds like we, retirees, me too, age 71, are really hanging around in God's waiting room waiting for our name to be called. That is true, face it. So it looks like if I decide to full-time RV, I will become a full-time fiddler-arounder. That doesn't sound very attractive at this point. Well, let me tell you, different strokes for different folks, okay? And by that I mean that, some people can entertain themselves easily by reading books, taking walks, and stuff like that. Now, if you're more complicated than that, maybe RVing ain't for you. Because, for me and many others that I've run into out on the road, the simple things are what they enjoy doing. You talk about you'd run out of things to do in a couple of days. I think that, and you might, because I don't know you at all, and you don't know me, but I've boondocked for a few days at a time, and I was out in Quartzsite in the middle of nowhere, and I've been to different places in the middle of nowhere, and it's like being at home. There are just times when there's not a whole lot to do, but for me, when I'm Prius camping now, or camping in my car, there's always something to do. I can always fix the bed, or I can start thinking about what I'm going to have for supper. You can always reorganize your clothes and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do for me when I'm camping. And as to, that thing called boredom slipping in on you, you just have to throw that word in the trash when you're out traveling, because what you're doing, you're on an adventure, okay? And the adventure is seeing new things. And when what you're saying is you're going to have to boondock for an extended period to cut expenses, so that when the money comes in, you be good to go for a few more days, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So you're going to be 2 weeks at a time boondocking or somewhere. And you could. I mean, it's just like being at home if you don't have a lot to do. But again, if you don't like to read, and you're not into walking, and you're not into pretty sunrises, or you're not into, sunsets, or listening to nature, or observing nature, and, just pretty views are stimulating. If none of those things hit your hot button, then maybe you may not want to go RVing, because those are the things you're going to run into. Now, you can go to RV parks and campgrounds where there's a number of people, and if you're an outgoing person, you can meet people and talk to them, and entertain yourself through conversation and just the meeting new people and talking about new things, what you're doing, what they're doing, etc., etc., etc. So it says, but all this filler stuff just sounds like we're hanging around waiting in God's waiting room, and everybody's in that same room. It's just a matter of age. Are you getting closer to shaking hands with him? Probably. And that's just a fact of life. But my recommendation, before you jump off and get you an RV would be to uh, either rent one or go camping in your car or whatever and try it for an extended period of time, extended, at least a week, maybe 10 days, and see what you think, because it's not going to change a whole lot. The things that change are the environment, of course, the climate, the scenery changes everywhere you go. And, if that doesn't excite you or keep you entertained, then again, that's what it's about. That's it. It's that simple. If you're into, I don't know what you do at home. Maybe if you're bored at home, it may not be any different at all. But in direct response to your concern, it's just boredom. If boredom is your main concern, and you feel like RVing would exacerbate or increase that time of boredom, then you might want to look at something else. I'm just being very frank with you, because uh, there are times even when I'm traveling. Traveling for me is the adventure, the driving part. I like that. And when I arrive and get set up, that's okay. But and then the next day or two or three, I'll check out the area, see some stuff. And but if you're going to be in spots for like 2 weeks at a time, then yeah, I can see where that might be a little boring. I'm not going to say it wouldn't be, because it might be, because once you've seen all the rocks and looked at all the creeks and the trees and heard the birds and the wolves and the coyotes and all the stuff, and you're in the same spot day after day after day after day after day, then that's true. But what I would recommend is break those 14-day periods up into 4 shorter periods and see how that works. But again, that's just my thought. And but I think boredom is what it is. It's just a word. Boredom means you don't have anything to do, or there's nothing you choose to do at that moment that's right around you. There's always something to do. You can clean the windshield on your car. You can take a short walk. You can start planning your meals. You can rearrange stuff in your ice chest or your cooler, clean up the car. There's a jillion things that can be done, just a matter of wanting to do it. But anyway, I just thought I'd post this in response to RVing and boredom, because it can occur. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's just a fact. And for me, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I live a boring life where I am right now. Like right now, I'm doing this video, of course, but the only thing I've got turned on is Mother Nature outside. Nothing else. No TV, no radio, no nothing. And that's the way I live. And I can be in that pattern or mode for hours and hours and hours at a time. I do read, not a lot. I might read 2 hours a day max, and or less, depending on my moods. And but I got clothes to wash and stuff to do, clean. There's always something for me to do. Piddle around. I can just walk around my RV outside at my home base. But again, anyway, boredom and RVing, you got to work that out on your own. And you might, again, rent an RV and try it for 2 weeks and see what you think before you jump in with a big investment. So anyway, having said that, thank you guys for your support. I appreciate the fan funding stuff. And for those of you that go RVing or car camping, check out my playlist on my homepage at Rusty78609. And because there's a lot of tips there, a lot of things that'll help you. Some of them might even help you with boredom. I don't know. But anyway, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, bye, USA made when you can. And drink plenty of water, stretch, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, deep breaths, because that does relieve stress. And again, to keep your health, because without your health, you're not going to go RVing, and you damn sure won't have to worry about being bored, because you'll be dead. So anyway, thumbs up, guys. Bye-bye.